Okay, so welcome to another Yoga with Danielle. This class, Live Free or Die, is about truth. And I'm trying to make it so my titties aren't all in the picture. And it's about coming into a space of tuning into your own truth. And from that space of tuning into that which is within yourself, you begin to recognize the truth that we sit in this world. And as you begin to cultivate that inner awareness within yourself, you inspire others to turn their gaze inward. And as you turn your gaze inward, your perception of the reality around us shifts, and you become more aware and more conscious of the reality which in you, I don't know how to say that, but with where we exist ourselves, but you also come into a sense of awareness of perhaps the reality of people who maybe don't look like you, talk like you, eat like you, pray like you. And that sense of truth that we cultivate within ourselves leads to empathy and compassion towards ourselves. And when we can be more patient and more compassionate and more empathetic with ourselves, that translates into the world around us. And while we kind of live in this space where there's this appearance of disconnect, when it comes down to it, we are all connected. So as you begin to empower yourself with awareness, you empower everyone around you. And that's what we're going to work with today on our mats: connection, awareness, and truth. And this is for my people in Minneapolis who've been going through some very sleepless nights. And you guys know, and I'm super proud of you. So, yay. So just coming into a nice, comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall. Try to get as much shit out of the picture as I can. Floating the eyes closed. Actually coming onto your backs. So the feet will come together, the knees will come wide. That left hand will come to your chest, the right hand will come to your belly. And just settle in with some nice big inhales through the nose. And some nice big open mouth exhales, letting that go. Inhaling from the base of the spine all the way up into the belly, into that heart space, into the collarbone, into the crown of the head. And now open mouth exhale, lets it go. And again, all the way in, all the way up. And open mouth exhale, lets it go. And then from that space, begin to find a little bit of an audible in and an audible out. The tongue comes to the roof of the mouth to create that texture, to create that awareness that comes with when you can feel something, when you can hear something. And just sit with those inhales and exhales. If having the feet together and the knees wide starts to feel like a little bit much, feet go wide and knees go to touch. And same thing, hands, one at the heart, one at the belly. Big breath in. And big breath out. Deep inhale. And deep exhale. One more here, all the way in. And all the way out. And as you sit with those smooth inhales and those smooth exhales, tuning in to where your body's at, where the mind is at, where the breath is at, coming into an intention of truth, of knowing that as we dig deeper within ourselves, recognizing what we're about, what we're made of, that begins to translate into the world around us. And taking that awareness into our practice today and into our poses as we come into a space of integrity and of consciousness, conscious movement, conscious breath. Big inhale. And conscious thought, big exhale. From that space, take those hands to the outsides of the knees and draw the knees together. And take the shins to parallel with the ceiling and the earth. Arms are going to come out to the sides. Nice big breath in here, and on the exhale, we'll soften those knees over to your right. As you perhaps soften your gaze over left shoulder, take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhaling long in the left side body. Exhaling as you soften into your twist. One more here, all the way in. All the way out. And then inhale, bring it back to your center. On the exhale, find the other side. And just start to soften your gaze over that other arm, perhaps. Nice long right side body, inhaling smoothly. Exhaling completely. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. And one more here, inhale. And exhale. And then from that space, inhale, bring it back to your center. And from here, we'll just roll forwards and backwards a few times, length of the spine. And from that space, come up into a nice, comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall here. I'm probably going to be messing with my hair the whole time. From here, you're going to take a deep breath in. Those arms will rise up. And on the exhale, we're going to slide our right elbow underneath our left. You can simply grab your elbow or your shoulders and give yourself a hug. Take the backs of the hands to touch, or take the palms to touch. From that space, those shoulders are going to be, or those elbows are going to be shoulder height. Hands are going to be softening away from the face. Soften those shoulders into your sockets. Nice. Integrity and consciousness. And then from there, you're going to take a deep breath in. On the exhale, you're going to press your right hand into your left. So those elbows will slide over to the left, or the hands, I'm sorry, elbows stay the same. And then on the exhale, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder and breathe for 3. And 2. Inhale, bring it back to your center. And on your exhale, release those hands. Inhale, peel it up. And on your exhale, interlace your fingers. You're going to take those palms and they face you. And on your exhale, like we've done in many other classes, if you've joined me in the past, you're familiar with this. The chin is going to come to the chest, the tailbone's going to tuck, and you're going to find yourself a little cow pose. But the palms are facing each other. Inhale, we'll let that heart lift, let the gaze go up. And on the exhale, the chin comes to the chest, the tailbone tilts, you're reaching through those fingertips. 3 more like that. In, open, out, hollow it out. And inhale, open up. And exhale, hollow it out. Inhale, take it up. Release the fingers. Exhale, left elbow comes under. Left hand is pressing into right. If you've just got a hold of those shoulders, just sit in this space of integrity. Shoulders softening, elbows are shoulder height. Otherwise, backs of the hands or the palms are to touch. Hands are away from the face. We'll soften the shoulders into the sockets. Take a breath in here. And on the exhale, left hand presses into right. So we've got those hands reaching over to the right. Big breath in here. And on the exhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Nice. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring it back to your center. From that space, exhale, release down. Inhale, take it up. Interlace the fingers. This time, send those palms up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in here, and on the exhale, the chin is to the chest, and we're tucking that tailbone. And then we inhale, we reach up, we breathe up, and exhale, hollow it out, the chin comes to the chest. 3 more, inhaling, big and open. Exhaling, big on the backside, hollow out the belly. 2 more, moving at the rhythm of those inhales. And those exhales. Last one, inhale, reach and breathe. And exhale, hollow it out. Inhale, take it up, nice and big. Exhale, find a twist. Maybe left hand, right leg, right hand is behind you. And once again, we sit up tall. We're not just kicking it. We ain't here for no reason. We're here, we're in our breath, we're in our thoughts, we're in our body. Big breath in, soften the gaze over right shoulder. And big breath out. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more here, all the way in. And all the way out. And then inhale, come back to your center, and on your exhale, simply with the gaze over left shoulder for 3. And 2. And then inhale, take it up. And exhale, find the other side. Softening that gaze behind you. Left hand, low back, close to the backside body. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more here. Inhale, the breath is moving you. No pushing, no pulling. Big inhale here, and on the exhale, you're over that right shoulder. You're inhaling. And you're exhaling. All the way in. And all the way out. 1 more here. Inhale. And exhale. And then inhale, take it all the way back up. And on the exhale, roll out into that tabletop. Take a deep breath in here, spread those fingers wide, and on the exhale, tuck the toes and push it back, downward facing dog. And just let that head be heavy as you spread the fingers wide, draw those shoulders into the sockets, rise way up high to the heels and melt them back down. And then any movement that speaks to you in this space, that speaks to that truth as you listen. Inhaling. And exhaling. On your next inhale, come out into your plank pose. Take those shoulders over the wrists. Think about drawing your energy into your heels So you'll feel the back side of the body connect from there. And then from that space, take those palms and draw them towards your toes. You feel the front side of the body connect. And that connection that we cultivate within our bodies, recognizing how the front side body affects the back side body, how reaching down into the feet can affect reaching up into the crown of the head. That same connection that we find within ourselves, we find within this world. Martin Luther King said, all men, keep breathing, that Ujjayi breath. All men are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. If you have to soften those knees down and take a break and rejoin us, please feel free. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. And you can never be what you ought to be until I am what I ought to be. When one of us is suffering, all of us are suffering. Take a big inhale here, and on that exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. You start to feel that in that plank pose, that connection. When the belly gets tired, somebody's got to take it up. And usually that's the backside or vice versa. And the same thing, we're seeing it right now. On our streets. The collective suffering that is due to a certain demographic feeling like they have no voice, like they have no representation. From that space, begin to walk those feet nice and slow. Just take your time. Little itty bitty baby steps all the way to the front of the mat. And then from that space, grab those elbows and hang. And you're just nodding that head, yes. And you're nodding that head, no. Shifting the weight a little bit forward to the front part of the foot. And keep nodding it, yes. And nodding it, no. And if the bending the knees here feels more accessible, then that's where you're at. A lot of times we feel like we need to be pushed or pulled in a certain direction, and what we actually need to do is tune in to what we need. And those are the spaces where we can find the most growth. Releasing those palms down towards the earth. We'll slide that right hand down. You can take your left hand high and just find a nice twist here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Deep inhale, and on the exhale, release that. Left hand goes down, soften through left knee. Maybe the right hand comes high. For 3. And 2. And on the exhale, gently release that. Inhale, nice and long in that spine. Exhale, heel together. And from that space, nice big breath in, nice and long in the spine again. And on the exhale, we'll fold. And from that space, a little bit of bend into the knees, and just nice and slowly, just start to re-articulate that spine all the way up to standing. From there, take those shoulders up towards the ears and soften them down the back. Bring the palms to your sides. And come into that connection of the earth beneath you, of the power within you, and of the heavens above you. As you reach into the earth, you reach into that heart, you let that belly be drawn in by your rib cage, knitting it in, connecting the dots there. The legs are strong as the muscles hug the bones. Palms are at your sides, those shoulders are soft. And at the same time, You're thinking about lengthening up into the crown of the head. And you're coming into that connection within yourself, drawing your awareness inward as you come into your truth. Big breath in. And big breath out. Finding that ujjayi breath, sitting with that sound of this big inhale. And a complete exhale. That next inhale, arms will rise up. And on your exhale, nice big forward fold. Inhale, nice and long in the spine. And on the exhale, plant the hands, step both of your feet back. Find your plank pose, take a big breath in here, and on the exhale, the knees will soften down first. The chin and the chest will soften down second. And we're just gonna take a series of heart openers here. So as you reach through the tops of the feet, palms are right up underneath your shoulders. Juice up those legs, take the gaze out in front and breathe for 3. And 2. And then gently lower. And then a little bit higher, juice up the legs, palms stay. You're gonna let the belly button rise up off the mat and keep connecting to that core, keep connecting to the backside body, keep lifting the heart up and softening the shoulders down for 3. And 2. And then gently let it go, release. And then one more time. This time the hands come off the mat. You've got these little spider arms, or fingers, I should say. So it's like you've got something underneath the palm and just those fingers are touching. Soften those elbows back towards your ribs. Juice up those legs and inhale, expand up, reach up, keep softening the elbows back. So we're not here letting those shoulders roll forward because we lead with our heart for 3. And 2. Take a deep breath in here. On the exhale, soften it back down. Inhale, press yourself up into your tabletop. And exhale, push it back, hips towards heels, child's pose. Breathe into the backside body here. Deep inhale. And deep exhale. We hear a lot about finding your inner truth in our modern culture. But what does this mean? How do we find truth? In reality, finding your truth is about listening better to what you already are saying to yourself. Your innate wisdom is there. The answers are inside. There's no finding to be done. All you have to do is listen. Turning that gaze inward with awareness, with breath, with patience, with empathy, with compassion for yourself, and that begins to translate into the world around you. On your next inhale, roll up into that tabletop, and on the exhale, we'll tuck the toes and push it back. Find downward facing dog. Big breath in. And big breath out. And from there, inhale, take that right leg long. On the exhale, draw the knee to the nose, the chin to the chest. Slide those shoulders over your wrist. Hold as you breathe in here. And on the exhale, set that right foot down. Soften your left knee down and let those arms rise up for 3. And 2. Maybe think about drawing right heel back and left knee forward. One more here, all the way in. And all the way out. Take a big inhale here, and on the exhale, left hand goes down, right hand comes high. Big breath in here. We'll juice up that back leg and breathe for 3. Option to keep the left knee down if that feels more accessible. For 2, And on the exhale, plant those hands, step it back, find your plank pose. Inhale here, and exhale, knees go first. The chin and the chest go second. You slide that heart through the shoulders. Reach and breathe for 3 and 2. And on the exhale, tuck the toes and push it back, downward facing dog. Feet are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. You're spreading the fingers wide, and you find that connection here. That inner awareness that comes with consciousness. And it comes with integrity. Big breath in. And big breath out. Left leg is rising as you inhale. On the exhale, slide it through. Find the front of the mat. Begin to soften that right knee down. And from that space and that strong foundation, those arms rise up. Let the right knee soften forward and the left heel be drawn back. You're here for 3 and 2. Big inhale, and on the exhale, the hands plant. And from that space, that left hand comes high. Option to keep that right knee down here, or a little more juice. You press into the right heel, and that left knee is, or right knee is rising for 3 and 2. Big breath in, and on the exhale, both of those hands plant and those feet meet. We find length as we breathe in. We find softness as we breathe out. And then inhale, take it all the way up, nice and big and open and strong. And exhale, hands come back to your heart. Inhale, reach and breathe. Exhale, open up. Inhale, take it long, put the shoulders on the back. Exhale, plant the hands. You can step or you can hop back. When you hop back, ideally you're hopping back into a push-up position. So those elbows are soft and your shoulders are above the elbows, height-wise. Inhale, let the heart lift up, reach and breathe. And exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Big in the hands, heavy in the head. Conscious in the breath. And from this space, see if you can get those inner heels to disappear behind those feet. A little inner heel towards outer heel. Feel the outside edges of those legs open up. And from there, can you find a little spiraling of the inner thighs towards each other and towards the walls behind you? You'll feel that low belly wake up. And just like in the world that we live in, as one of us begins to awaken, it becomes a collective consciousness rising. It's the same way in our bodies. The more you bring awareness into those hands, you begin to feel it in the forearms and the upper arms and in your shoulders. Big breath in. Big breath out. We'll take that left leg up as we inhale. And on the exhale, knee to nose, chin to chest. You slide those shoulders over the wrists and you feel that power here. Big breath in, and on the exhale, left foot slides down, right knee, right up underneath that hip here. And we'll inhale, let those hearts rise for 3 and 2. And from that space, interlace those hands behind the back. Start to reach. I'll be preaching, yo. Reach your hands down your right hamstring and lift up through that heart. Ooh, wee, give me a soapbox, baby. For 3 and 2. Nice job, guys. On your inhale, take it up. Listen, on your exhale, right hand to the front, left hand to the back. Feel that. Reach into that for 3 and 2. And on the exhale, the right hand goes down. We'll stick that back knee up off of the mat, juice it up, reach up, breathe up. And then once again, from this space, both of those hands slide down, step it back, find that plank, and breathe. And sit in this space of connection. If you ain't connected here, it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we think we want to be in these places of ease, but where we find growth, where we find strength, it's not in comfort. It's in discomfort. It's in shaking. It's in crying. It's in anger. That's where you find the ability to tune into what matters and you recognize what you're made of. Big inhale here. On the exhale, soften down, knees, chin, chest, or you've got those chaturanga arms. Elbows soften, shoulders stay above the elbows. We shoot the heart through. And on the exhale, push it back. Downward facing dog. Big inhale. And big exhale. Go up. And let go. One more here, all the way in. And all the way out. And then from that space, that right leg rises. On the exhale, slide it through, find the front of your mat. Let the left knee soften down, walk it back so the hips are sliding on top of the knee. We're not sinking like I normally teach, but we're keeping that awareness and that connection to the front hip flexors. And then from that space, right heel reaches reaches back. You see the difference here between this and this. And then arms rise up, inhale. And on the exhale, hands behind the back, other index finger on top. Inhale, let that heart shine as you melt and reach and breathe for 3. Nice job. And 2. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, peel those arms up. And on the exhale, left hand goes down, right hand comes, ooh, what are we doing here? Right here. Yeah. For 3. And 2. Feel that left side body opening up. And then from that space, left hand goes down, juice up that back leg, and right hand goes high. Yeah. For 3. And 2. And on the exhale, plant both the hands. Bring those feet to touch at the front of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen, guys. Listen. Exhale, heel toe those feet apart. Peace fingers come around big toes. You're long in the spine as you breathe in, and those elbows bow out, and that head goes. And you're just soft and conscious and aware as you fold forward, using those arms to draw you a little bit deeper. But at the same time, what happens when you bring awareness into it? Shoulders go up the back towards the tailbone. Low belly, soften it in just slightly. You'll feel the back side of the body open up even more. These little itty bitty movements can create significant change. You're on your mat or off your mat. Big inhale. Big exhale. And then on your inhale, find a halfway lift. And on your exhale, heel toe those feet back together. Inhale, take it all the way up, reach up, breathe up. And on your exhale, take those hands to your heart. From this space, just close your eyes for a moment here, noticing how you're feeling. That awareness, that awakenedness, that aliveness, that energetic quality of conscious breath, conscious movement, and conscious thought. Inhale, take it up, reach up into that. And on the exhale, big forward fold. Inhale, we'll go nice and long in the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back. Inhale, let that heart shine. And exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. And big breath out. Inhale, right leg, take it up. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, shoulders over wrist, give it a tap. Inhale, push back, reach and breathe.
Exhale, bend and open here. You're gonna open that right hip up, right heel drops towards left hip, dragging the left heel down at the same time, feeling that spaciousness for 3. Equal pressures in the hands as you push into those arms, melting the heart and the head towards left leg for 2. And then we'll inhale, square it off, take it long. Exhale, slide it through, find the front of your mat. And from this space, spin that left heel down and windmill those arms up and around. Sit into that warrior 2 as you reach into those fingertips, one end to the other end. It's all connected and it all matters. We're not on, no. This is the only part that matters. You reach into both of those arms. You use that rib cage to soften into this space for 3 and 2. Take a deep breath in here, and on the exhale, interlace those hands behind the back, bringing the palms to touch. We'll humble our warrior 2 as we let the head soften down towards the earth and reach those fingertips towards the outside edge of our mat for 3. Beautiful, and 2. Take a deep breath in, find a little halfway lift. On the exhale, take it up. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Arms are rising, right leg is straightening. Exhale, take those arms out to the sides. Inhale, reach out over those toes. And exhale, right hand goes down, left hand comes high. Find a little lean back here as you breathe into the left side body for 3. Little to no weight in that bottom hand. You don't really need it because we got a lot of other stuff to use besides this little itty bitty hand and wrist for 2. Inhale, take it all the way up. Exhale, turn those toes towards the side of your mat. Take your hands to your hips. You'll notice that my wrists and my feet are about the same width. That's a good place to kind of reference. And then from that space, hands come to the hips and we fold. And you just let that head go. You can walk those feet back so they kind of line up, or those hands back, sorry, so they kind of line up with the feet. Squeeze the elbows together and shift that weight just a little bit forward. And what do you notice here? In these moments of silence, in these moments of stillness, what do you hear when you listen? Big breath in. And big breath out. If you're someone who has an inversion practice, you can start to set that head down, start to shift that weight slightly forward and draw yourself up. If you do not have an inversion practice, then you are just folding and reaching and breathing. Taking this moment to tune in, noticing what comes up. You're here for 5 and 4 for 3 and 2. Gently, if you decided to go upside down, begin to descend with grace. And from that space, we'll all inhale up, find a halfway lift. Exhale, left hand goes down, right hand comes high. Find that twist. Take a big inhale here, and on your exhale, bend your right elbow and slide it behind you. It can just come on top of that left low back or all the way into that left hip crease as you soften your gaze for 3. Maybe noticing what happens when you shift the weight forward and back and finding that sweet spot for 2. We'll inhale, right arm is rising, and on the exhale, release that. Take a deep breath in here, and you've got that integrity, yeah? And on the exhale, right hand goes down. Left hand comes high. Big inhale here. You can stick and stay. And if you need something to bring the earth a little bit closer, because the floor is just a little bit too far away, a book or one of these blocks is a great thing to always have nearby, because you just never know where you're going to be at.
bending that left hand, that left elbow, and sliding it into your right low back or that right hip crease. You're here for 3 and 2. Left hand rises as we breathe in. And on the exhale, release that. Walk it all the way to the front of the mat. Take a deep breath in here. And on your exhale, step it back. Find your plank pose. Breathe in. And breathe out. That awake, not alive, that connection. Breathe into that for 5. Option to soften one knee down or both knee downs for 4. And 3. And 2. And on the exhale, soften down. Inhale, lift up, reach up, breathe up. And exhale, push it back. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. And big breath out. And then from that space, we'll take that left leg up as we inhale. On the exhale, left knee, left elbow, shoulders over wrists, you tap. On the inhale, you push into that left leg, you spread those fingers wide. And on the exhale, bend the knee and open the hip. And keep dragging that right heel down at the same time. Keep pressing into those hands, melting the head, melting that chest, melting that belly towards that right leg. Feeling the expansiveness as you reach in all directions. Inhale, square it off, take it long. And on the exhale, slide it through, find the front of the mat. You're gonna heel to arch alignment as you windmill those arms up and around. And you sit into that warrior 2. And you take that gaze over those fingertips. And you recognize that as you sit in this space, you use everything. And you waste nothing because it's all connected. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Big breath in here. And on the exhale, we're interlacing those hands the awkward way. Other index finger on top. Send that heart high as you reach those palms down. And then just pour that heart towards the earth. That 1,000-petal lotus that sits on the crown of your head is releasing down as well. Fingertips reaching towards the outside edge of your mat. You're here for 3. Feeling those exhales softening you deeper for 2. Last one in. And last one out. And then inhale, start to take it up. We'll reach into the fingertips and the arms as we breathe in. And on the exhale, the arms come out to the sides. I feel like I'm really big here in my stance. I'm gonna shorten it up. Because that's my truth. And then arms come out to the sides. You're gonna inhale, take it out over those toes, and exhale, slide left hand down, right hand under. No weight here, because who needs it? Strong and connected for 3. All the way in. And all the way out for 2. As you're ready, big inhale, we'll take it all the way back up. And on the exhale, turn those toes towards the side of your mat. Take the hands to the hips. Take a big breath in, and on the exhale, fold forward. And this time, I want you to find, it's like a reverse downward facing dog. So those feet stay. Your arms are gonna start to reach back. And you're just gonna let that head go and breathe here for 5. And 4. And 3.
and 2. And then gently start to take it out in front. And once again, we'll take a deep breath in here. You're going to walk those hands over to your left hand, right foot, somewhere on the area of that side of the mat. Right hand comes to low back. Right hand comes high. Option to shift that forearm down to the earth to find something a little bit deeper for 3. And 2. Big breath in. On the exhale, release that. Inhale, find the integrity. Exhale, find the other side. Other hand down, other hand high. You can soften that forearm down as well. And you're just here for 3. And 2. Big breath in, and on the exhale, walk it all the way back to the front of the mat. And from that space, step it back. Inhale here. Exhale, right elbow where right palm was. Inhale here, and exhale, left elbow where left palm was. And you're in a forearm plank. Breathe. Right hand where right elbow was. Left hand where left elbow was. Big breath in here. On the exhale, we're going to heel toe those feet over to the left and take that right hand high. If this version of Vajrasana is super extra, doesn't feel good in your shoulder or your wrist, definitely soften that left knee down. Wherever you're at, you're here for 3. And 2, reaching up, breathing up, getting those hips up. Big inhale. On the exhale, plant both the hands. Find that plank. Strong. And connected. Big inhale here. On the exhale, left elbow where left palm was. Inhale here. Exhale, right elbow where right palm was. Forearm plank. Awake and alive for 3. And 2. And then right hand where right elbow was. Left hand where left elbow was. Spin those heels over to the right. Option to soften that right knee down towards the earth. Left hand goes high for 3. Woo. Think up, 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 up with those hips for 2. And on the exhale, plant both the hands. Take a deep breath in here. On the exhale, soften those knees down to the earth. Sit those hips back towards those heels and breathe. Listen to that heart. Listen to that breath. And listen to your inner self. Listening to that truth. On your inhale, we'll roll up into our tabletop. And on the exhale, hands are right up underneath your shoulders and you're long in your spine. Feet are coming out of those heels. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And on your exhale, right arm is going to slide underneath left. You can soften that right shoulder and that right ear down towards the earth. Take that left arm, start to wiggle it out in front here. And from this space, I can really begin to feel my, my right foot is actually touching my left because my hips are going, oh, you want us to go that way? And I'm like, nah, dude, that's the upper body. So you start to take that right heel and track it back towards your right hip. And you'll feel yourself just a little bit deeper in that space. And where does that come from? It comes from integrity and it comes from consciousness. It comes from awareness. And the more we practice all of these principles, it just becomes the way you walk in the world. It doesn't require mindfulness. It becomes habit. Big breath in. And big breath out. And then crawling that left hand in underneath left shoulder. We'll inhale, spread that right arm up, big and open. And on the exhale, release it. And then coming to the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, slide that left hand under, let the shoulder and the ear soften and start to walk that right hand out in front. Yeah, breathe. And then I noticed on this side, my left foot is like, hey buddy, what's going on, right foot? And I'm like, yo, you're supposed to be hip width apart. For 3. This is one of my favorite poses. For 2. And then gently release that. That right hand starts to climb underneath right shoulder. Inhale, take your left arm and reach up. And on the exhale, both of those palms come down and we've got that tabletop. Nice job, guys. From that space, take a deep breath in here. What time is it? And on the exhale, we'll tuck the toes and take those hips high. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. And from there, big inhale. We're gonna rise way up, head to toes, bend the knees, look past the hands. Always looking where you're going, on your mat or off your mat. Where you put your gaze is where you will land. Big breath in. And the exhale, step or jump. Find the front of your mat. Inhale, long in that spine. Exhale, fold over those legs. Heel toe those feet, hip width apart. And this time, it's your hands that are sliding underneath your feet. The toes are in the wrist. You're shifting that weight forward, letting that head go. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Big inhale. Big exhale. Fill up. And let go. And once again, if the knees bending gives you more access to your breath, more access to your body, then that's where you're at. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. And then gently release that. Bring a little bit of bend into those knees. And just real slow, like, start to just re-articulate that spine all the way back up to standing. Take those shoulders, go up and down. And from that space, we'll take the big toes to actually keep your feet hip width apart. I'm gonna shift my computer. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Don't fall. A little bit better. Okay, so from here, the hands are gonna come to the low back. We're gonna squeeze those elbows together, juice up your legs, send energy down into the earth, hands in those pockets that probably aren't there, but that's where, if we had pockets, our hands would be in our pockets. And then from that space, let that heart up and up and up, and let that head fall back. And you're in your truth as you open up through that heart space for 3 and 2. And then inhale, bring it back up. Let those palms come to your sides. Close your eyes for a moment and notice the sensation that comes with that vulnerability of opening up through that space where everything that matters is exposed. The body starts going, hey, not a good idea. And what happens is you find your breath in that space, in those moments of the body saying, get the hell out of there. And this in turn gives you the ability to choose how you react. It's that breath and that awareness. And then when you're not on your mat and something happens that makes you feel that way, you take the tools that you've cultivated here and you find yourself using them off your mat because of habit and its power
to have the choice versus just reacting, choosing with intention, with integrity, and with consciousness. So again, hands can come to the low back here. You're going to squeeze those elbows together, and I want to see that heart reaching up. Those legs are strong. You're reaching up. You can stay here, or maybe you start to walk those hands down those hamstrings and let that head go for 3 and 2. And then gently start to bring yourself back up. This time, take those hands to the heart. Close your eyes. Coming into a space of gratitude for that inner awareness. And knowing that deep inside of us, we know the difference between right and wrong. Coming into that truth. From there, big toes come to touch. Nice big breath in, reach those arms up. And on the exhale, big forward fold. Inhale, go long in the spine, put those shoulders on the back. And on the exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back. Inhale, let the heart lift up. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. And big breath out. From there, we'll soften those knees down towards the mat. You can cross your ankles and just take your legs out in front. I need to check and make sure, what time is it? Yeah, we're right on time. Legs are out in front. Sit up nice and tall here. Take those palms out from underneath you, or take your booty out from underneath you. Yeah, juicy booty. Reach through those legs. Hands come right beside your hips, and those heels are floating here because my legs, I'm so juiced. This is your Dandasana, your mountain pose, seated mountain pose. Lean back just a little bit, huh? Yeah. And from that space, let those heels soften down as the arms reach up. Big inhale. And on the exhale, find that fold. Take a big inhale here, and as you exhale, soften just a little bit deeper over those legs. You're here for 10. Letting the upper body come away from the lower body, reaching towards the toes, rather than just softening down towards the legs. Think about coming towards the front of the mat with that upper body for 6. And 5. And 4. For 3. And 2. And then gently release that. And from that space, soften that right knee up and towards your chest and over the top of left leg. Sitting up nice and tall here, this is a lovely place to be. If you want to start to soften left heel in towards the booty while keeping both of those seat bones grounding down, that's another great option. And from that space, left elbow's outside, right hand comes behind, and we're twisting. Option, left elbow is really outside and that left palm is facing up. And you soften that gaze, and you're here for 3. In and out through the nose with that breath for 2. Deep inhale. And deep exhale. And then inhale, bring it back to your center. And on your exhale, just a little itty bitty twist to the other side. And then from that space, bring it back to your center. So if those knees are stacking, they will continue to stack. But the pinky side edges of your feet will be on the earth. And I have learned recently, after practicing for, 23 years, if you get your heels in the same latitude, you get a whole bunch more juice in this sucker. And if you're like, girl, that is not my jam, At one point in life, more than one time in life, this has not been my jam either. You're just going to have that left leg come out nice and long in front, and that right knee is going to stack on top. So wherever you're at in this space, whether those heels are drawing in or that left leg is drawing out, we'll inhale, take those arms up, and on the exhale, fold forward. And let that breath sit with wherever you need it. If it's in the mind, because the mind is racing. If it's in the low back, because the low back is hollering, because the hips are opening up, or if it's in those hips, wherever it is, send that breath into that space. Use it to create softness and surrender. And healing. Big breath in. And big breath out. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. And then gently draw that back up. And from that space, legs come out nice and long in front. Give yourself a little shimmy shake. And from here, we'll take the left leg over the top. Option to stay here and find your gaze over left shoulder, or option to draw that right heel in. And this is a lovely space when both of those seat bones are down. But as soon as you start to draw that right hip in, you're over here looking like, I don't know, give me something. This is how I ask. This is like, where are my grapes? I'm a big grape eater. Give them to me. Or, but anyways, if this is the deal, then you got to get that right leg out, because you want that foundation that you can spin from, that you can find length in the upper body from. So wherever you're at, it's where you're supposed to be. Right elbow outside, hugging, right elbow outside with that right palm up, left hand is behind you. And there is no pushing here. There is no using the body to bring you deeper. It's that breath. We're connected to all of this, but it's the breath that softens you, that lengthens you. Big inhale. And once again, you slide that gaze over that left shoulder. You notice how the eyes lead and the body follows. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And then inhale, bring it back. Exhale, itty bitty baby twist to the other side. Oh yeah. And then take it back to that center. And if that leg is out, that left leg just slides on top. If you've got those knees stacking, see what happens when you go, oh, if I make my heels a little bit more equal, I mean, I can feel it without folding. And then from that space, reach up, breathe up. And on the exhale, slide over those legs. Use your breath. Inhale where you need it. Exhale where you need it. Big breath in. Big breath out. Expansive on the in. And surrender on the out. Deep inhale. And deep exhale. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. And then from that space, start to bring it back up. We'll take those legs out in front. Reach your arms out in front. Give yourself a hug, because you didn't have to be here, but you are. And that means you the jam, you the jam, you the bomb, you the diggity, the bomb diggity. Slowly, with intention and with consciousness and with grace, we keep those heels down and we just start to soften ourselves down onto our backs.
Slow motion. For 5, oh boy, and 4, and 3, and 2, and you're all the way down on your back at 1. Pause for a moment here. Notice the difference between when we started on our backs and right now. And then take those knees, bend them, draw them up in towards your chest. The thighs kind of wrap around the ribs, knees in the armpits. Outside edges of the feet are your handles, and you're rolling from left to right. You're massaging that low back. Happy baby pose. So I used to teach yoga for Target in Minneapolis, and they had us in the conference room in the city center. And we were ending class with the lights off. I probably had about, I don't know, 18 people in a happy baby pose with the lights off in a conference room. And here comes some people in suits, and I don't know what they were doing, giving somebody a tour or what. But they walked into the room and turned the lights on, and this is what they saw, and it was so great. It was like, oh, turn the lights off, shut the door. And then we were all dying laughing. So from here, you're going to keep that right leg, keep a hold of that sucker, and just let that left leg lengthen. And as you do that, the body's going to want to tilt over to the left slightly, and that's really great. Just breathe here for 3 and 2. And then soften left knee in, keep a hold of that. Let that right leg just reach out to the right through that heel, opening up through the back side of the right leg. Yeah. Inner right thigh. Where do you feel it? Breathe into that. And then take it back to your center. And from here, right knee comes in towards the chest, left leg goes long. Big breath in. We'll reach that right arm out to the side and just soften that right leg across the body. Soften your gaze over right shoulder if that feels good for you. And you can even take your left hand into your left hip and kind of push that hip towards your right heel. Feel a little bit more space here. And then from there, as you reach that left arm out, you can pick that left arm and reach it up just a little bit bigger, and you'll feel a little bit more space in your upper body. These little movements create big change. Big breath in. And big breath out. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. And then come back to your center. Draw that left knee in towards your chest. Let that right leg go long. Right arm grabs left leg. Left arm reaches out to the side. Big inhale. And on the exhale, you're moving into that twist. You've got that right hand, and you can push that hip away as you reach into your left arm for 5. And then here, that right arm reaches out, and you can just pick your shoulder up and reach that right arm a little bit further. And you'll, I mean, maybe not, but I definitely can feel a little bit more expansiveness through my chest and my left arm, shoulder. For 3. And 2. And then come back to your center. Bring those knees up in towards your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Bring the head into the knees. Give them kisses. Take a big inhale here. And on the exhale, the heels are in, the toes are out, the palms are up. And this is where you bask in the glory of the practice. It's where the healing
and the magic really happens. You've just opened up all of these energetic meridians and nadis in the body. You've massaged your lymphatic system. You've created space. And from all of that, in this moment of stillness, the body begins to heal. Those energy channels become more efficient as energy moves through them without blockages. Your lymphatic drainage becomes more efficient as the lymph is able to move through the body. And the breath. Let yourself just soften into this space. Relax. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Just be. With each exhalation, you feel a softness. You feel a release, a sense of surrender, a sense of healing. When you're ready, you can begin to find a deeper breath.
Maybe take one of those big giant inhales, filling the chest and the belly all the way up. And an open mouth exhale lets it go. And from this space of silence, before we start to move into a comfortable seat, just listening again to my neighbor's horn or to your deepest voice. There is nothing to fear from turning within and heeding the desires that you hear, listening to your truth. Little bit of movement in those toes and those fingers, in those ankles and in those wrists. And then start to take those arms and reach them towards the walls behind you, those legs towards the walls in front of you. Find that rise and shine, that reawakening. A space of softness, a space of strength, a space of connection. The knees will be drawn up in towards the chest and you'll roll over to your right side for a few breaths there. And then gently from that space, press yourself up into a comfortable seat. And taking those hands to that heart center in a gesture of gratitude. Going through hardships gives us strength in places we never thought to develop. Spaces we didn't know we'd occupy. And room to reach beyond ourselves, toward others who are where we had been. For my people in Minneapolis, we're so proud of you. And I know that right now it seems really, really daunting, but I know that when it's all said and done, our city is going to be better because of that. And I think the world is listening. And we're all going to be in a better space of awareness of each other and of truth. So, giving thanks for this practice, for this breath, for this body, for this mind. Namaste. Love you. Power to the fucking people.